Sir, excellent presentation. Thank you so much for explaining in detail about the methodology which should be used. And it has been enlightened us with many concepts, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam, for your message. And now I would like to unmute our one of the participants who is with the video on mode and is, I am trying to unmute him with his Gmail. Actually, the device name is saved. And yeah, I would like to now unmute Julius. You can also unmute from your side and you can share your feedback. Okay, Julius is not able to unmute from his side. So now it's the time to receive one message from one of our IIPN, Anita, madam. You can also unmute from your side, madam, and please share your feedback. I was not able to unmute from her side. Here, I would like to unmute Sankal Parmar. If possible, you can also unmute from your side and you can also share your feedback.
Thank you, ma'am, for a lovely session. Thank you, sir. This was really interesting, and you went all to the details about how to go about with the research process. You discussed about research design. You discussed about the different types of research and how to understand the qualitative research and quantitative research in a very deep manner. And I would like to thank all the participants and all the of Eduxia and all the panelists for this wonderful webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sankal Parmar, for sharing your feedback. And now I would like to unmute our President, Professor Dr. Rituraj sir, for his message.
Thank you very much for unmuting me. And that was a really brilliant and incredible session. And I would like to request everyone to please give the big hand for such an awesome speaker and in qualitative research. And it's like that any one researcher, those who were just starting their research, I'm pretty much sure that they're understanding the point. Of course, the sampling, different method, particularly that examples that's handled by our Professor Boral sir, with each and every method that was incredible, and I think that it will really help the researcher. If you ask me that what sir we should do, that my advice, then I will tell you, please recap the video again and again whenever you will receive the recorded video. Of course, see the example. That was mind-blowing part, because how to conduct one qualitative research, and thereafter if someone is explaining you with giving the example that this is the way that you can go, so definitely in that way you are getting the practical knowledge to apply that particular method to conduct your qualitative research design. We know that qualitative research design always based on our human behavior. Of course, we can conduct the quantitative with our data, with our software. It is like the mathematics, clearly. But while we are conducting the qualitative, we will do the in-depth research. I'm not saying that the qualitative is higher or quantitative is higher. Both are very, very important. And nowadays, as you have seen that Scopus publication, that if you wanted to publish your paper, you need to adopt most of the part mixed method of research. What is mixed method? That is, you are combining qualitative as well as the quantitative method of research to bring the output to a realistic one. That is, people will get understanding not only with the human behavior, also with the data science. And that in today's webinar, I have seen that our professor, Dr. S.K. Boral sir, beautifully explained each and every point and minutely, and we are being overwhelmed. And I think that those who are the researchers are thinking like that, this is really nightmare for me to have this method. That's a ethnography, it may be the grounded theory, it may be the case study method, any method that maybe you are thinking as a nightmare, but from today onwards, I think that you will really enjoy this all method. You can apply this method to your research. Yes, much more things to come. We will learn more and more about qualitative research in our upcoming webinars. We will have the N people. We will learn how to go for sampling. We will learn how to analyze this qualitative data. But today we are having the in-depth knowledge presentation, that one showing you how to collect the data for your research. That was really brilliant and outstanding. I would like to appreciate our professor, Dr. S.K. Boral, sir, for such a wonderful presentation, which will change the life of the researcher. I think that it is a really blessing for all of them to have such a wonderful presentation. And we have also seen that our professor, Kathleen Mendoza, sir, the Pro Vice Chancellor of our Redoxy Research University, made one excellent presentation. And my big congratulations to Professor Mendoza, sir, also. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak about the today presentation. Thank you very much.
That was a wonderful message from our Professor Dr. Rituraj sir, and I would like to request each and everyone to give big hand for sir message. And I know that this analysis has definitely helped and give the new input to our researcher. And now it's the time to unmute our Dean, Professor Dr. Rajesh Kannur sir, for one message from sir's side.
Good evening, madam, and good
Good
evening
evening,
to sir. Of course, a very awesome and very enthusiastic presentation by Dr. S.K. Baral, sir, about qualitative research designs. Of course, he has highlighted all the designs, especially wondered how he has delivered about historical studies research design. Very wonderful slide. And also in the research gap is highlighted, and other things like an individual research, bibliographic research, and he started with an deductive and inductive theory, how we can apply it in qualitative research. Very awesome, very informative session. Thank you, sir. Good night from India.
Thank you, Kannur sir, for the message. And now I would like to unmute our General Manager, Dr. Sukhbinder Singh, for his comment.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for unmuting me. It's an honor always to have in the presentation of Professor Mendoza and Professor Boral. They have one uniqueness which is always fascinating because of the slides, because of the way they interpret the results, and they ask the scholars that this is the way to do it. And this is an absolute wonderful occasion. And I would like to congratulate Professor Boral, Professor Mendoza for such a wonderful and iconic webinar. So thank you so much, ma'am. I'm sure all the scholars will have an immense help from this webinar. So very good evening to one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. And now it's a time to hear from our IIPN, Smriti Mehta. So may I request you to share your comment for our Baral sir presentation.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am,
Good evening.
my voice is audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So once again, a big congratulations to one and all. Today, our eminent speaker, starting with Professor Dr. Catalino, sir, amazing presentation. We feel blessed that we are getting an opportunity to learn from this, sir. In the way he present it is just amazing and beautiful. And next we are coming with the Professor Baral, sir. He again next session, next hour, again with a best session, giving with all the information and in a very detailed manner. That is the very beautiful part of the session, sir, and with the different diagrams and charts also. So it was an excellent, and I think all the scholars and academicians must be benefited. So So there is a big congratulation to one and all, and I will be requesting that don't miss the session, the IAPNs and our new participants, so that you are ready to learn and you are getting the good opportunity to explore. And here the our eminent speaker are also there to solve your queries. So ask your question and be ready to explore the next level research and innovation with Eudoxia Research University, USA, Newcastle. So thank you to one and all, and thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Smriti, for such a wonderful message. And I have seen that today both the speaker have wonderfully explained it. And I'm really happy that our participants, our IIP, and all have shared their comments and appreciation messages, and which is really mandatory, because we know that when someone is presenting, someone is giving us they're sharing their knowledge, ideas with us. Definitely, we have to appreciate, we have to acknowledge. And I'm really grateful to our participants, those who have really shared their feedback for our eminent speakers. And now it's a time to receive one message from our speaker, Professor Dr. Baral sir. And may I request you, sir, for one message